What's up EFD and welcome back to Scout Report. On today's episode we're taking a look at 3 potential replacements for Erling Haaland at Borussia Dortmund. Let's go. Hugo Ekitike, a long-time target of Newcastle and linked with bigger Premier League clubs like Chelsea, Arsenal and even Man City, Reims centre-forward Hugo Ekitike is hot property. But given Borussia Dortmund's excellent record with young up-and-coming stars, a move to the German outfit may appeal to the 19-year-old if an offer was made, especially considering he is currently part of the youngest squad in Europe's top 5 leagues, with an average age of 23.4. And while this is only his first full campaign in the French top flight, having spent half of last season on loan in the Danish Superliga, there is already plenty to be excited about. Ekitike has been one of the most dangerous forwards in Liga this term, showcasing the kind of all-round attacking qualities needed to succeed at a top club. In 21 league appearances, of which just 14 have been starts, the teenager has netted 9 goals and provided 2 assists, at a rate of a goal involvement every 105 minutes. For context, he's contributing to a goal more often than Vinicius Jr. is managing in his best campaign yet at Madrid, and this is all the more impressive given the side he is playing in. Reims currently sits 12th in the league, ranked 14th for goals scored and 18th for expected goals. It is their impressive defensive record, 6th in Liga and by goals conceded, that has helped keep them competitive in mid-table and steer them clear from the threat of relegation. It's no surprise then to hear that Ekitike is the only squad member to have scored more than 4, or that he is overperforming his expected goals, which suggests his tally should be closer to 6. In fact, the youngster is scoring with almost a third of his shots, the kind of rate that is almost impossible to sustain in the long term. Only Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Borja Mayoral are hitting the nets more efficiently this season. But this shouldn't necessarily be a cause for concern. Erling Haaland has also consistently outperformed his expected goals, and while Ekitike is not at his level, getting someone who is capable of scoring from low quality chances is no bad thing when compensating for the sale of a superstar. And while he may only take 2.2 shots per 90 minutes, 1.9 of them come from inside the penalty area. Not only is he an excellent finisher, but he also has a good instinct for picking up dangerous positions from which to score. If he can do so in a side which doesn't create many chances, then he will thrive in a more attacking outfit. This term, he is averaging 0.61 expected goals and assists per 90, good enough for 14th in the league, and better than both Martin Terrier, who has scored 21 goals for Rennes, and Jonathan David, who has scored 13 for Lille and is valued between 50 and 70 million euros by the Football Observatory. And it's not just his goal-scoring ability that catches the eye. Tall at 6'2" and rangy in his physique, Ekitike can also pick up the ball in deeper areas or out wide and take players on. He completes 2 dribbles per game, ranking in the top 4% of forwards in this metric according to FBref. He also makes 2.4 tackles and interceptions a match, and in a side that employs a mid to low block, is more than willing to track back and get stuck in. In a Dortmund side that has been vulnerable to the counter-attack in recent seasons, this will be most welcome. And crucially, BVB won't need to break the bank for him. In January, Reims demanded a minimum of 30 million euros for the French prodigy, with a hefty sell-on clause thrown in. But come the summer, he will have just 2 years remaining on his contract. If Dortmund can convince the player, then there will surely be scope for bargaining with the club. Sebastien Haller. But if Dortmund want a more experienced player who has a proven record in the Bundesliga, then Ajax striker Sebastien Haller could be a good option. The French striker enjoyed 2 excellent years at Eintracht Frankfurt between 2017 and 2019, forming a highly effective strike partnership with Luka Jovic that helped the German club establish themselves in the top half of the Bully, as well as win the DFB Pokal in 2018, their first silverware in 30 years. He was particularly brilliant in 2018-19, scoring 15 goals and providing 9 assists in league play, with only Robert Lewandowski, Marco Reus and Jadon Sancho bettering his 24 goal contributions. Meanwhile, only Paco Alcacer beats his average of 0.99 goals and assists per 90. He backed this up with an impressive 2.2 shots in the box per 90, while his 1.6 key passes ranked him second among regular starters at Frankfurt, ahead of Ante Rebic and Filip Kostic. But while he struggled following a big money move to West Ham, where a lack of clear attacking structure and sitting defences made him a less effective tool in the final third, he was far from a complete disaster. Over 18 months at the London Stadium, he averaged 0.4 expected goals and assists per 90 minutes, around the same as Richarlison at Everton. However, at £45 million, he didn't come near to repaying his value to the English club, as typified by his sale to Ajax for less than half that fee. But his career revival back in the Netherlands, where he got his first break with Utrecht in the mid-2010s, has answered the critics in more ways than one. Not only is he in the form of his life with 46 goals in 63 appearances since arriving in Amsterdam in January 2021, but he has also proven he can thrive as a lone striker. Having operated in a front two at Utrecht and Frankfurt, this had previously been a concern. At Ajax, Haller is taking 3.5 shots in the box a game, providing the Dutch Giants with a bigger aerial threat in the penalty area, and is allowing Dusan Tadic to flex his creative muscles from the left. The 2021-22 season has seen the 27-year-old hit 20 league goals for the first time in his career, while his Champions League form was also imperious before an untimely exit to Benfica in the last 16. Only Karim Benzema and Robert Lewandowski have scored more than his 11 goals in this year's competition so far, while his average of a goal every 61 minutes is better than both of theirs. He may be plying his trade in the less taxing Eredivisie and is part of a highly dominant system at Ajax. It would be unfair to expect him to produce the exact same numbers in a less balanced Dortmund team. But that doesn't mean it isn't a possibility that he would. There are few strikers in Europe as hot as Haller right now, and he is in his peak years. His experience could be exactly what this young team needs. Karim Adeyemi. We finish off with a player who looks almost certain to complete a move to Dortmund this summer. But while Karim Adeyemi's expected arrival from Red Bull Salzburg may go some way to replacing Erling Haaland, it would be a risk to think it's enough. Last summer's signing of Donyell Malen is yet to really bear fruit, with the Dutchman scoring just twice in the league since December, despite spending most of that time at centre forward, while prodigy Youssoufa Moukoko is still only 17. And although Adeyemi is one of Europe's most exciting young attackers, he is simply not as prolific as Erling Haaland was when he earned his move from Salzburg in 2020, or even Patson Daka before he left for Leicester last year. His record of 17 goals in 26 league outings is excellent, working out to 0.9 goals per 90 minutes. But when you consider that Daka was averaging 1.2 goals per 90 and Haaland 1.5, he doesn't guarantee goals in a tougher division. His underlying numbers also back this up. Adeyemi is taking 3.4 shots a match, very solid by most standards, but not even the best record in the Salzburg squad, while Haaland and Daka both averaged close to 5 while in Austria. In such a dominant team, which recently secured a 9th successive league title, you'd expect the top scorer to be more active in the penalty area. However, while Salzburg remain Austria's top side by a distance, they are generating fewer chances than before. In 2019-20, the season Erling Haaland broke through, they were taking 20 shots a game as a collective. This dropped to 18 last season and has dropped again to 17.1 this term. And besides, there is a lot more to Adeyemi's game than just goals. While he primarily plays as a striker, his pace and creative ability mean he can also play on either flank and often drops deep to link up play. His average of 0.6 assists per 90 minutes was the best in Austria last season, while his 6 progressive carries per 90, the metric used to measure the number of times a player advances the attack towards the opposition goal by carrying the ball, places him in the top 9% of forwards according to FBref. He also ranks in the top 6% for progressive passes received, indicating just how central he is to the Salzburg attack, as well as his ability to play with his back to goal when he needs to. At just 20 years of age, the Munich-born youngster is already a tactically accomplished attacker with a wide skill set, and this will help him adapt to a tougher league. Not to mention the fact he's already earned 3 caps for Germany. Valued at around €40 million by Salzburg, Adeyemi isn't coming cheap, but with personal terms reportedly complete, a fee just needs to be agreed for the deal to go through. BVB should have a special talent on their hands, but if they want to replace the output of Haaland, then contributions will have to come from elsewhere in the attack too. So those were our 3 candidates to replace Erling Haaland at Dortmund, but what did you make of our selection, and do you think they need to sign 1 or 2 attackers to truly replace him? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, and why not check out our last scout report where we suggested 3 players to replace Mbappe at PSG. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.